pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all. Good evening to the town of Highlands. Do we have any public comment on the agenda items? Public comment, public comment. Previous minutes, July the 24th. Do I have an approval on the minutes of July?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the 24th.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And so carried. Communications. I received just this afternoon an invitation to the annual dinner of the Board of Directors of the Orange County Municipal Planning Federation. Tickets are $75 each. It's September the 28th. So if between now and then, if anybody decides that they want to go on the board, we might bring a motion up to see if the town can pay for a ticket or two. More than that, I think you'd have to pay for yourself, but anyway, it's at the Spruce Lodge, Colden Manor, whatever you want to call it, September the 28th, social hour at 6, dinner at 7. Tickets are $75 a person with a cash bar. I sent...
That's at the Spruce Lodge?
Yeah.
Okay. I got something from the planning board that was at Falkirk. So it must be different than that.
Okay, yeah.
Is it charitable in nature, or is it, where's the,
This,
does it have any charitable slant, or? Okay.
maybe Justin could explain what there's just a regular dinner.
Yeah, I've not attended that dinner before, but the organization is what it suggests, municipal planning and in the county, but, and they put on certain educational components and often have speakers. I don't know what they do at their annual, so.
Yeah, okay. It's just a big number for,
Yeah.
dinner.
Oh, maybe
Just told me
that
Falkirk,
was
it's this
okay.
one right here. I sent this out to the town board. This is, Orange and Rockland is doing a municipal information exchange. Right time, right response, right assets. Their guest speaker will be Lieutenant General Russell Pondre. He was commander of the Joint Task Force for Katrina and Global Preparedness Authority. This is a free session. It's registration, networking, and breakfast. It begins at 8 o'clock in the morning. Program will run until 11 a.m. It'll be at the Falkirk Estate and Country Club in Central Valley. RSVP is a must by August the 28th, as seating is limited. So, town board, you've all got your little copy of this. If you decide you can go, want to go, most certainly should go. June, are you going to the next meeting of the Shared Services Panel, which would be on August the 21st?
I didn't receive that, so
Oh, I'll certainly make you a copy then.
Okay.
And I can probably go with you on that particular time if you're going to go, or if you think just one of us need to go. Ty, did you go to the last time on this?
No.
About shared services put on by the county. There's been two meetings so far.
I missed out.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll give you that, and you can make me a copy and
Okay.
give it back to me. We have an invitation from the New York Army Reserve National Guard. I guess that's the whole title. That's at Camp Smith. They would like to invite representatives of our surrounding municipalities to the installation for a site meeting on Monday, August the 28th. Seems like the only date I'm talking about tonight. But anyway, the meeting will provide an opportunity for a new command staff to meet our local officials, discuss upcoming projects and plans, and establish points of contact between the parties. A short tour of the installation will be provided for those interested. And again, this is an RSVP deal where you have to call in, let them know that you're coming so they can be ready at the gates for you. And I think, did I circulate this with everybody? This letter, I think I did.
Okay.
There's going to be, at the county, an environmental assessment review of the proposed division of the town of Monroe to create the new town of Palm Tree and the town of Monroe pursuant to Town Law Article 5. There's going to be, they're soliciting public comments tomorrow night, Tuesday, August the 15th, 6:30 p.m. at the Central Valley Elementary School auditorium. Jimmy, what do you know about this?
Hi, Jim DeSalvo. Yeah, so there's two public hearings on the proposed town of Palm Tree. One is in Central Valley tomorrow at 6:30, and the next one is in Monroe. And I have the actual address. Do you have it, Supervisor, or do you
What's this?
need it?
No, I think I've got it here.
Well, I'll give it to the folks at home.
At this elementary school auditorium.
Yeah, the elementary school address is 45 Route 32, Central Valley.
Yeah.
And the 16th meeting is in, actually, Village of Kiryas Joel, and it's at the Bias Rachel Paradise Hall, 5 Israel Zupnik Drive, Monroe. And the parking is kind of limited at the second location. I think there's like 100 spots. So I know a lot of folks from Woodbury, Monroe will be there, and the surrounding areas. I'm not sure if anybody from the town of Highlands will be there, but it does affect us indirectly in some regards and directly in others. What's before the legislature is a vote on the petition that was presented by 2,200 plus residents of the village of Kiryas Joel to form the new town. It encompasses plus or minus, there's actually an amended request, or petition I should say, for a plus or minus of 56 acres. 164 has already been annexed into the village. It's in litigation right now, but the judge, I believe Judge Walsh, agreed to the 164 and felt that the KJ had standing, but I think it's still being in litigation in some form by different various organizations, and I believe the county. The public hearings, I'm sure, will be lengthy. We've heard that a lot of speakers will be there, and again, so if you plan on going, try to get there early. I was at the Town of Woodbury meeting this past Thursday. Some of the board members had questions. If you folks have questions, I'll be happy to answer. If you so permit, Supervisor, if anybody from the audience has any questions, I'll be happy to field them.
I have a question. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Sure, put me on the
but-
spot.
Okay. Are you going to either or both?
Going to both.
You're going to both meetings?
Yeah, all 21 legislators, I believe, will be at both.
Good. Good.
So, it's a pretty hot topic.
I mean, that's the best way for you to go to the public hearing in order to render a vote on
Sure.
the situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, everything from school district lines to sales tax to the school tax that will affect Monroe residents, different DPW issues and plowing and roads, sewer, water. There's a lot to look at. But what the legislature is really tasked with is just on the petition in hand. There's a lot of different variables to go through, but the consideration of the legislature is really the petition in hand, and that's the 56 plus or minus acres to be annexed and the creation of the new town.
Anyone got questions for Jim?
I think ought to be a law in New York State, no more new towns or villages in the state.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I believe that's a funny comment. factual, but I believe the area involved has the full support of the governor's office, which I find ironic since the governor seems to be ramming down everyone's throat to consolidate.
Absolutely. Doesn't make sense, and the fact that, I think 7 years ago, they created a new village for the very same reason they're doing this.
Right. There was a new village created in the town of Woodbury. And they did it in the right sense, in the sense that it's coterminous. So, you can get into the argument of local government, yes or no, but, you can't have a village inside a village. So Woodbury is protected in that regard, that another village can't be formed inside their village.
The Times Record really has given pretty good coverage on that and mentioned a lot of the things, and that the county was also going to extend the plan out to see the impact there for more years than apparently has been presented with by Curious Joel to, what they feel their impact is going to be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of information that is ready to go out. I think they're just waiting to see what the vote is. Some folks in Woodbury had asked last Thursday, what happens with school taxes, because there's portions of the town of Monroe now that'll be, when the line is redrawn, it'll be in the Curious Joel school system and not in the Monroe-Woodbury school district. So there will be a tax adjustment for Monroe residents. What that number is, no one's prepared to give. Some folks can anticipate or speculate, but I heard anywhere from 1% to, 3 to 4%. So, but I don't think there's a fair answer yet.
Anybody in the audience? Jim, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Our check run on August the 4th, we spent $25,347. Our bigger items are the credit card from Key Bank, $2,975, O&R, $3,511, and TAM Enterprises for some work at the sewer plant, $2,915. I have two budget transfers that are not on your agenda. Would like to transfer $200 from zoning seminars to zoning legal. The legal expenses are higher than budgeted.
So moved.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Roll call, please. No? No roll call?
Motion
All in
carries.
favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay. Then we need to, actually, for the exact same reason, transfer $600 from zoning fees revenue that has accrued to zoning legal, again, to move the revenue to legal expenses.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
And I believe that has been remedied, so the legal expenses shouldn't be as much as what caused this.
Okay. Good. I don't know that, but
I believe that has.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I believe that because of the overage in the legal has been remedied, so it shouldn't happen again.
Hopefully, this will cover the rest of the year.
those two transfers?
Pardon me?
Those two transfers to cover the rest of the year?
That's Jack Janaro's
Okay.
trying to anticipate the rest of the year, to cover the rest of the year with these transfers.
Okay, we have two projects in the wind, one major, one minor, that our engineer for those projects would like to update us.
Thank you for inviting me. I apologize for being late. There's a little construction on 17th.
You wouldn't have been on any earlier if you were here earlier.
So I do apologize.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to come in rudely and interrupt your meeting. Thank you for inviting me. Things are moving along well. We'll start with the sewage treatment plant. I was happy that this week I did receive an email from Harry Nelson of the New York State Environmental Facility Corporation that he had verbally approved it, but I always like things in writing, that they approved the amended engineering report that included the mechanical dewatering. So I was pleased to finally have that in the file, even though we knew it was imminent. He told me, and he's never gone back on anything he said before, but I always like that in the file. As you are aware, we had done soil borings down there to determine the footings for the proposed new mechanical dewatering center, and they went very well. We got those completed in a timely manner. And at this point, we probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks will be completed the 90% of the mechanical dewatering plans. So we'll provide those for you to review. We are just starting to work on the detailed specifications to go with it and the bid documents. And now that we know where we're headed, we're completing beginning to complete the electrical aspects of it. Now that will be to be able to power that mechanical equipment. And in addition to that, we're raising the electrical switchgear as appropriate to get it above the flood level, since that was a majority of what the plant grant was for. So we're working on that. We're also working now on the clarifiers. We wanted to get the mechanical dewatering out of the way first. So we're working on all of those. We hope to have it to the EFC in a timely manner this fall for a review. We're anticipating that by the time they review it, because a lot of times they send it over to the Department of Health and the DEC as well, probably take first of the year, and we're still on schedule for our construction. So everything is going well there, I'm happy to say.
Okay, now, according to your schedule here, you look to award a bid in November the 15th.
Yes, we did. We
Okay.
did say that.
So you should be
I believe
putting-
we're going to be back a little bit from that, because I'm concerned that it's going to take a little longer for the EFC to approve it. But I still believe we'll be on schedule.
and I'm not sure either you or the scheduling for the grant, is there a certain time that money runs out? I mean, is there a time limit for this?
Technically, yes. But usually, if you're within the processes and have been showing progress, you can make a request, and typically the EFC would extend that time frames. I believe they had indicated, and I'd have to go double-check paperwork, I thought this program was through the end of 2018, but I could be off on my timing there.
You're correct. Yeah.
So yes, the schedule becomes more and more important. Al's correct. Often there's a little back and forth process with the EFC and or DOH officials to finalize, to go from the 90% plans that they're reviewing to the 100% plans. So we do want to keep pushing forward. Usually, though, if we've got a contractor and we're in construction, usually there's not a problem initially getting an extension of the funding. Can't constantly go to that well, but usually it will be extended.
Al, if there's any way you can keep this going so we don't have to ask for an extension,
Yeah.
because...
I believe we'll be able to. The other, as was stated, that once they see we're in the process, and also, to be honest with you, there was a large delay on their behalf in the beginning too. But I will speak to them and we will move it along. Maybe they'll accept some 90% plans so that they can review it ahead of time also. I'll ask them if they would consider that.
And now, in your plans, I don't think you mentioned it, or maybe you said it in different language, the circulator tanks.
Yes,
Now, they're going to be completely
they are.
refurbished.
That's why I said we're right in the middle of, we finished the mechanical stuff first,
Okay.
and now we're completing that part of it. That part is relatively easy to work on because we're not pouring any new concrete, making any new tankage, things of that. We're replacing components more than anything. So that'll go very quickly.
But it's Sorry to jump back in, but
Go
it's
ahead.
part of the reason, Al, for the urgency as well, since at least one of the circulator tanks is not in full operation at all
Absolutely.
times.
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong down there, then you're going to have some,
I understood. I talked to Bob the other day, and he related that to
I assumed you knew, but
So again, why might we push that bid award date out further?
Well, I'm anticipating that when we submit to the EFC this fall, there's a lot of back and forth, you know. We give them the plan, they give it back to us, we change 8 words, we change something
Well,
that they
when
don't
are
like.
you initially giving it to them?
Excuse me?
When are you giving it to
We're
them?
anticipating this fall, you know, it'll be, you know, probably end of September is what we're shooting for. But there's a back and forth situation. You know, hopefully, I think you ran into this also with the water, so you understand, but, you know, we will be pursuing it, and I will ask them if they would submit, review partially submitted plans. That way we get a leg up on it. It's not usual, but they might consider it if they're, you know, have time.
Yeah, I would like to see us stick to the schedule you gave us.
I understand that. I do, and I don't mean to be rude by this, but it took us, you know, months to decide on which mechanical treatment we went to. So we were sort of treading water for a while on that. But we are going to push it as quickly as we can.
Any other questions on the sewer plan? Okay, Al, do your, and I know you will,
Right.
do your best to get that thing on the schedule and.
Believe me, I want to move
and
forward on
get
this.
the
as
damn
quickly as
bids
we
out
can.
there so we can at least say we got a bid and we have
Right,
we have someone that's gonna do the project and we know what the cost is.
good, good. So, now, the only thing on Brooks Park one is that I'm waiting to hear a date from the Orange County, because we have to have a contract closed.
Okay, I got the date from your secretary. so-
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Today, recently?
Huh?
Was it today?
No.
Oh.
No, did I find, yeah, within a day or two. I don't have it
Okay.
handy,
All right,
but
good.
it's,
'Cause I've been-
it's second week of next month, if I remember.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I haven't been in the office today.
Oh, all right,
I
okay.
came right from another meeting right
Yeah.
to here, so.
Yeah, so
I've
it's
been
set up
pushing-
with the
I've been
county and with the
Pushing Joanne
contractor.
Fasino to set
Yeah.
that up, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be
We're good to
here, I'm not sure exactly the date.
It doesn't
but
matter,
It'll be here.
as long as the date's finally set.
Yeah, it's set, yeah.
Great. Any questions on either project?
What is the date, the last date on Brooks's Park? That we can have the work done and get the money?
I don't think there is
There
a
isn't a
date.
last date. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there isn't a last date.
Yeah.
The date from Joanne you're talking about is September 12th here at 10:30 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that money, you have a contract for that. In fact, we got $5,000 extra on that job.
Yeah.
So we can do a little bit of extra work on the project. All right,
Okay, so
thank you.
we can look for that to be done in September, October then.
I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah.
The contractor's ready to
Yeah,
go.
we're signing the contract. I think he only got, at the most, a month's work or worth of
He's a
work.
hungry contractor, too. He-
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Come in second on a lot of bids.
All right,
Thank you.
all right. Anybody, anything else for Al before he leaves us here?
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Board liaison reports. Adrian, we'll start with you.
Sure. I have less to report and more to comment on. I had a conversation with Pat Patterson today, our highway superintendent this morning, in regard to trash removal and recycling. And I would like to just sort of give a public service announcement. We have the single stream recycling, right? And we pick up a ton of recycling goods, okay? And if anyone is unclear about what things are accepted in recycling, it is listed on our website. You can also contact the the sanitation department to get clarity if anyone would like to purchase a recycling container to specifically put their recyclables in. They're the same as the trash containers, but they're blue. I just want to encourage people to be diligent about recycling, because not only is it the right thing to do for the environment, it's cheaper for us. We don't have cost associated with recycling that we do with the trash pickup and the transfer station. So, sometimes things come down to dollars and cents, and if people are, aware that that can save us some money, perhaps they'll be slightly more diligent about it. Bill?
Just on your dialogue with Pat, has he ever gotten feedback from the receiver that we're throwing too much in there, too many bad?
In the conversation that we had today, it was, an observation that many people are just still commingling, and throwing away a lot of
So
recyclable
it's fair to say,
materials.
like, it's almost like, if in doubt, put it in the recycling rather than the other way
right,
around.
right.
Is that it? Okay.
But if in doubt, there's, we can address that, so,
Yeah, go to the website,
Yep,
but
yep.
even myself, sometimes I'm like,
Yeah, right.
just, okay.
So that's just something that I would like to encourage people to do. That's one thing. Another thing, I provided everyone with some information about something that I'm interested in. Just to back up, we got the grant money from the Unified Solar Permit back on, I believe it was July 31st, that $2,500 was deposited, right? So went right into the general fund, and it's just free money that can be done whatever with. I had some discussion with some community members, and there was a request that was made some time ago about the uplighting for the flag at the Patriot Garden. My understanding is that now there's maybe some differing of opinion about what should be done with that, but I did provide the board members with some information about a proper LED light that would cost $500. That there is a town resident willing to install it, volunteer, so it wouldn't be any further expense. And I was just, we sort of put a Band-Aid on the situation for the illumination. I think that personally, I think it needs to be properly illuminated. So that's something I would like to see us do. If we would like to have some more conversation with Vision that maintains the garden and see if they would care to do that, before we actually acted on it, I'm fine with that as well. But I think it would be a nice thing to do. So I left information in your baskets and about that. And then, are you going to talk about the communication from DOT?
I can, or you can.
Okay. Well, you know more than I do.
Well, I'm the one that- yeah,
You know
yeah.
more than I do.
I'll take care of
I
it, yes.
will.
Yeah, I'll take
When
care
you do discuss the communication with the DOT about the school zone, I would just like to pre-express my dissatisfaction with their decision, and that I'm very disappointed. But you can get to that. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, I did go to the last shared services meeting, and I will go to this one, so if you're going to respond and go, you can add my name.
Okay.
Okay. And they should be having public hearings soon on the plan that they're putting in, and I believe that they're going to start talking about next year, which is, give a whole lot more time than this time. It was like a month they had to put
yeah.
everything together. So there wasn't much time at all. Went to the chamber meeting on August the 4th. It was at the middle school. The library is completely torn apart, but they assured us that it was going to be absolutely wonderful. And a better library once they put it all back together and school started. And our next emergency management committee meeting, chaired by Jeannie Lent, will be September the 13th. And I'm sure that Chief Pieri will give his own report.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone at home. Just a quick update on the senior Citizens Program. We got a trip coming up, August 23rd, which is Wednesday. Senior citizen trip to Monticello Casino. Bus leaves at 10 a.m. from Sacred Heart and returns at 5:30 p.m. to the same location. It's free and open to all seniors. Additionally, just want to remind everyone of the hours at the Senior Citizen Center. Folks can utilize the center from Tuesday to Friday. The center will have activities from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. A variety of things like arts and crafts on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday they have bingo, and then Friday, the senior movie matinee. Dr. Matthews is still in the conversations with New Windsor Department of Recreation, along with Newburgh's Senior Citizen Group, to collaborate on a variety of events that will benefit all the seniors in the area. And that's it.
Thank you. And now, the trip to Monticello was free. You guarantee nobody's going to lose nothing or cost any money or any of those things?
I'm going to wish everyone luck. Will not guarantee anything.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure we'll have somebody come back with a smile on their face.
There you go. All right. Just checking.
Is that a political answer?
No?
I don't think I really have much. I did had discussions with Vision on the Patriot Guard, not about the LED light, and as long as I'm not the guy putting it up, I'm okay with it. They are looking for us to see if we can help with some walkways and some macadam improvements. So I'd like us. I don't think it's a budget item. I think it might be a feasible parkland fund type capital improvement work that maybe we could start considering to. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like they're gonna, like Doris or anyone's gonna be here for the budget meeting. I know beautification's on today, so we can talk briefly about it then. But that's all I have.
Okay.
I had two things, Bob, I forgot.
Sure.
One is some flyers here. If anybody would like to take some flyers for the trip to Monticello, I have additional flyers here. You can pass them out to folks that may be interested. And the second thing would be, I'd like to wish our Recreation Director, Mr. Aaron Falk, well wishes as he recovers from some health issues. So we miss him, and we're looking forward to getting him back as soon as he's good and healthy.
Okay, just a quick report from the ambulance district. They had 78 calls for the month of July. 46 of that 78 did not enter a hospital. The other ones, there were 24 went to Newburgh. Sorry, there was 18 went to Newburgh. 11 went to Hudson Valley, 4 to Nyack, 3 to Suffern, 2 to Keller, and 2 to Orange Regional Center. We have one ambulance that, if it isn't there already, is going in for servicing. We're having a diesel problem with it, so we'll be down to one ambulance for a while. I went to Mindock Park Committee meeting. I've got about 2 pages, but I'm not going to read them. What I did promise them was that I would ask the general public, they would like to put a flagpole up down there. And a flagpole would run between, we'll say ballpark $3,000 for the flagpole that they would like to put up. It would be put up with volunteer labor. It's just a matter of buying the flagpole. If there is any person, organization, whatever, that would like to donate the $3,000 or a part of, we would certainly entertain accepting the money and putting a plaque of some sort on the flagpole or on the base of the flagpole. So if there's anyone out there that would like to put a remembrance of their family or something of that sort, an organization that might want to donate the $3,000 for the pole, please either see me, Gene Ward, Kelly Blovelt, any of us would be glad to talk to you and see how we do it exactly. The bad news that Adrian was talking about is I had a teleconference with DOT. There was the Westhos, he was the regional director, Thomas McIntyre, the assistant commissioner, Joe Burley, Traffic Safety Mobility Group, myself, and Dr. Shaboy. I'll read it short. Mr. Westhouse said they have taken another look at the school area and it doesn't meet the warrants for a school zone. Mr. Westhouse stated that New York State DOT plans on making some safety improvements, which will include do not block the box markings. In other words, they're going to mark the road at the entrance and the exits of going into the parking lot, the stripes going from the sidewalk to the middle of the road. And then they're going to put something on the traffic lights that would make them more visible, which really does have nothing to do with the school zone. That was, by the way, I threw at them. Dr. Shaboy asked if that do not block the box would be on the roadway. Mr. Burley said it would be painted on the road at the bottom of both driveways to and from the school. I asked about lowering the speed limit. Mr. Burley said that he believes that this would create more of an unsafe situation. Mr. Burley said New York State DOT would continue to monitor this to see if any changes need to be made. Dr. Shaboy asked about the monitoring. Mr. Westhos said that DOT would revisit the site in a couple of years or sooner if there are any obvious changes. Mr. Burley said they rely on the officials to notify them of any changes. I asked to have this report put in writing, and they explained to me that out of courtesy, they were doing it on the phone so that we just wouldn't get a letter in the mail saying that most of what we asked for is being denied. Mr. Westhouse said the in writing is already being done, but he wanted to speak to everybody involved before sending it out. And he stated that he would schedule the upgrades and let the town know when they will begin. I think the reason is obvious that I want it in writing is so that we can take this a step further. Adrian,
Sir?
you have something to say
I'm
about this?
just, I'm very disappointed, very disappointed. I think it's nonsense.
Quite frankly, it doesn't surprise me, but I do like the fact that they at least talked to us and reported to us and did come down and look at the situation.
It was courteous.
Yes.
But I'm very disappointed in the outcome, and I will address it. And I hope others do as well.
For those of you that understand equalization rates, our equalization rate for the town still remains at 106%. In the county, they range from 106% down to 14%. Exactly what all that means, I'm not really all that into it. Just in the, although for certain areas, they have a special rate for us at 100%.
Right. So, right, you went through the revaluation process a few years ago to get to 100%, and ideally, that's what the state would like to see communities at. But because it's a process that changes on a yearly basis, it's difficult to keep up with all of that work. So what 106%, that's not the worst place to be. It's fairly easy for people to figure out what their properties are worth, but your rate is 106% as opposed to 100, so it's showing that you haven't kept up in the reverse order, in essence, that your assessed value is a little high, but just a little. And that's not a terrible variance. It's fairly easy for the public to understand. It's fairly easy for the assessor to work with. And so it's not all that bad of a position. 14%, as you mentioned, somewhere in the county, right? That's very difficult to
There's a number
make
of that. There's half a dozen or more.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's not a bad position to be in, but it's not perfect.
Any questions on that?
Is it just set once a year?
Correct, once a
Okay,
year.
right around this time of year?
Yep.
huh? Okay.
Kelly, do you have anything? No, just budget. Okay. Chief?
Oh, yes, sir. I don't know if we anticipated that letter today, but starting last week, every shift is now spending some time on 9W. So we've been documenting the speeds there, midnight or 4 to 12, of course anticipating school starting. And since Friday, I know just in speeding tickets alone, they issued 16. So we know there's a bit of a problem there. So every shift is stepping up patrols on 9W in the business and school area, and we plan to have a bigger presence right before school starts.
Great.
And when school's there. We're also keeping up our presence on Route 293 with the military. Keep an eye on there. There's been a few accidents with Humvees, so we're keeping an eye on that. And Pat Patterson was able to install our portable speed sign, the last one, that's on Bridge Terrace. I know there's a couple of speeding complaints there, so that's visible there. And if we get complaints, we can move that to another area. And want to thank Pat Patterson. If you haven't seen him by the police station, at the left-hand side, he did a great job. He spent a couple of days there, cleaned all the leaves and the brush out. Parking lot's completely clear, and we have the beautification committee coming over to take a look, just to see if they can give us some hints on how to keep it up. I don't have a green thumb, so I'm not going to be able to do it. And I want to thank the Highland Falls Police Department. Officer Farrell invited us to join out for a national night out. We had 2 officers there with a police vehicle, and on occasions, they had a good time. So thank you very much.
Chief, before you sit down, I don't have my email that I got today having to do with 218. They're going to be paving 218?
There'll be an email coming forward. He spoke to me, and I'll make sure I get out to the press and to everybody as well.
Good, okay, okay.
And he's starting as early as next week.
Yeah, and...
He sent it to the wrong email address.
Okay, and if you can get it to Kelly, she can put it on our website.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Because there'll be a lot of closing of lanes and stuff on that. I think it's going to stay open virtually.
First week will be closed, we believe, for the first 4.2 miles, and then a single lane, and then the second week, once they go past the gate, he said be closed. But he said everything will be in the email. He just sent it to the wrong email.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anybody got any questions, Chief? on this?
That's all the way to
Good work, Chief.
Cornwall, I guess? That paving's all the way to Cornwall, or?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, one more thing that I just happened to think of. Tuesday, I think it's from 11:30 to 1. Assemblyman Skoufis will be here at Andy's, so if you need something, stop by and have a cup of tea and talk to him.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
11:30 to 2,
Is it 11:30 to 1 or 2?
11:30 to 1, at Andy's
Yeah, at Andy's,
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow?
No, I'm sorry, next Tuesday, I
Next
believe it is.
Tuesday,
Next
okay.
Tuesday.
Good, I'm glad you brought that up. Pardon me?
I think it's tomorrow.
You think it's tomorrow?
They have the night time.
Mary Jane's shaking no. Is it, Jim? Tomorrow?
So if you're retired or you have an hour to get
If it's tomorrow, it won't be in the paper for announcements.
It was
Right.
in the paper on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. And there were a lot of people there at lunchtime, so I'm sure that a lot of people will have whatever their pet peeve is or whatever their request is, they'll make it known.
Nice, good. Very good. Okay, I have a letter. Let me put my cheaters on now. I have a letter to the town board, acting chief. Please accept this letter as formal notice that I am resigning from the position of police officer in the town of Highlands. I've accepted a new position with another police department. My resignation is effective July the 31st. I would like to thank you for the opportunity due to the department of heading in a different direction over the past year. I've made my choice to leave the town of Highlands Police Department. Respectfully, Laurie A. Bailey. I ask for a motion to accept the resignation.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Adrian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Okay, got that. The Patriot Garden is requesting, Patriot Garden. Vision normally hosts a 911 memorial service at Patriot Garden. They're requesting to be able to do that again this year. So does anybody have any objections? I'll get you exact time and program, but I don't have that yet. I was just asked today by Doris when she was here. So I ask for a motion to allow Vision to do their annual 911.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Okay, any business not, this is the end of the 3-year contract for the police union, and it's time to negotiate a new contract. I would like to appoint June Gunza and Ty King as the negotiations team for the town of Highlands. So, June, if you would organize a time, date, and check with Justin and get us all squared away and keep the board informed in executive sessions.
Sure. And we'll make sure that everyone has a copy of the current contract so they can review it, make suggestions.
Okay?
Supervisor,
Yes, sir.
The resolution.
Councilman Edsel didn't bring it up during his report, but High Point Utility, I didn't...
Yes, I was just going to do that.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fine. Why don't you explain what you had?
I didn't know if I was,
Explanation?
Yes, please.
Sure. A couple months ago, actually in May, you passed a resolution of support for High Point Utility LDC. Councilman Edsel happens to sit on that board as well, and that's related to some utility projects or potential utility projects in conjunction with West Point and taking advantage of the entire community and using resources appropriately. So you passed a resolution of support. This is sort of a tack on to that. John Dodson does some of the engineering work for that LDC. This would appoint him in a more official capacity to act in that capacity on behalf of the town related to this project or these potential projects. Any funds, any expenditures, anything along those lines has to come back and get separate approval by this board. So you can choose at that point whether you want to participate, but this would give him the official title in that regard. It would also officially make Bill the liaison, since he's already attending those meetings. Then he can report back to this board as well on any issues of relevance. So it's fairly straightforward, sort of a add-on to the resolution of support, appointing John as the project engineer, John Dodson, and appointing Bill as the project liaison.
Ask for a motion to move the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edsel?
I'll abstain.
I'm sorry?
I'll abstain.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Gonza?
Aye. Aye.
Councilmember Voltaire?
Aye.
Supervisor
Aye.
Lindsay?
Okay, I think we're down to the end of the agenda. The town board have anything else?
It
Yes.
is tomorrow.
Hmm?
Defer to the gentleman. It is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So that's tomorrow that Assemblyman Skoufis will be across the street at Andy's.
There's a first for everything.
Okay, is there any final public comment before we go into budget? Okay, this will be the first night that we're going to work on the budget for next year, 2018. It's still, we're open, we're live, we're going to have meetings every Monday, a couple exceptions on holidays, between now and the end of September, all right? End of September, they all will be starting at 6 o'clock. They're certainly all open to the public. On the nights that the village is televising, we will not be televising, but short of that, we're going to go into our budget session right now. I would need a recommendation from the board if we should stay where we're at or throw a couple tables together and move up.
You'll have no sound.
Yeah, to
You
stay.
won't have any sound.
Oh, we can make sound.
You try.
My input would be for today, or, to just stay put.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, I was going to suggest
I
that because
agree.
there's not all that much
Yeah,
on
yeah.
tonight's. So it would probably be a good thing. So if anybody would like to leave, you're welcome. You're welcome to stay.
Thank you,
welcome to
Supervisor.
Thank you, Justin. Good seeing you. Yep. Come on.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, I love it. That's my,
Did, look like
Yes.
Al lost weight?
You look like it, yeah.
Yes.
And there is the supervisor, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What I did is left the salary the same, left clerical the same, that would be Kelly as my executive assistant. Equipment, I put $800 in, even though Adrian complained last year when I put that in. I'm gonna try to go over her complaint. That's for chairs for that table down there. Those chairs we have are just totally
gonna
impractical.
complain again.
I blame you. Yeah. So there's $800 for chairs. I looked it up. We should be able to get decent chairs with rollers on them that are not real heavy, but very practical. So that was a guess at that $800 on my other expenses. I put $300 for other expenses. I don't have anything specific, but just to have a few $100s in the account. And I put $800 in for myself on training. I probably will not be going to the Association of Towns meeting in the city next year, but in case I do decide to go, I'd like to see the money there, because I haven't been there in 6 years. And maybe it's time for me to go and find out what the new things are going on. So that's my budget. Any questions, except for Adrian? She's not allowed to speak on the chairs.
I don't think the chairs are necessary.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're that bad, and
I don't think it's a matter of them being bad. I think they're too large for the room. It's difficult to get in there and sit down because the whole place is table and chairs.
How often?
Yeah, that's right. You sit very low, especially people my height.
Okay, so Adrian's objection is
I
so
object.
noted. Anybody
I
else?
object. I think it's,
Well, just, you just maybe you just highlight things that are, optional.
That are in
but
question.
You need to.
Here's a question. So,
Yes, sir.
is there some sort of system that allows for exchange of furniture after so many years or so? Like when you purchase furniture, there's normal wear and tear, and so it's maybe
There is the town hall. I'm not sure this falls under capital. And you need a little bit of a rigmarole to get the money.
Yep. Town Hall Repair Reserve Fund requires,
But that is a good point, that's pretty healthy is my recollection, and that particularly if we had another couple of expenses that we could bundle that into, that would be a better place to grab it.
Yeah.
I don't think the reserve fund balance is, I'm gonna say it was
It's
about
over 100.
46.
I think we've hit that for quite a bit of money, the Town Hall Reserve Fund, yeah.
46,000?
That's exactly what the number was in my head, and I don't know why.
Oh,
It could be,
okay.
but I think that's what's in there.
And we just have to take a look and make sure that's not for I don't mean that it's already programmed for something, but there's not a repair that's gonna use that up
Yeah,
either.
okay. So anyway, that's supervisor's budget. Treasurer's budget, I left same as it's been, no change.
So, just, can you keep like a running of like things that have potential
Yes,
or?
things that you're questioning, and we'll make a list that we can go back to.
Not to, then you rank them when they.
Okay, right. Economic assistance for veterans, I don't think I made any changes in that. Grave decorations would stay the same at $230. There is no Veterans Day Parade. Patriotic observances, that's normally for fireworks in the village, although this year I think we paid for 2 bands, am I right? Which is $2,300. And I have no desire to change that one way or the other.
On the flip side of what we just discussed, if there were room in the budget, which would be a big surprise, it would, for us to support the Juneteenth would be a neat thing to add if, the Juneteenth ceremonies, if.
I agree with you. You,
I don't think we'll be there, but,
I'll make a note.
yeah, right?
so that would come under patriotic services then, or observances?
Say,
Did you have a dollar amount, or you just that you wanna, we'll take a look at it?
this one I could say, I had a discussion with Councilmember King a while ago, and it really impacted me greatly. And for a huge segment of this, in our history, it just, we didn't have independence truly in this country until that proclamation. So, it is important, very critical, and to me, kind of finalizes the 4th of July, like finally realizes what the statement that Jefferson made way back then.
And actually, this year in particular, and I'm sure next year, the same, there's been a lot of effort, a lot of money put into it, and nothing from the town, although is being billed now as a town event.
Yeah, they did a great job last time, so. Be nice to be in a position, if so asked next year, to be able to contribute there.
Even if it's just a token amount.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Programs for seniors, okay. The salary is for the coordinator. Am I correct? The coordinator. Then you have $7,400 other expenses, which is buses. You have $7,000 for what we pay to the nutrition center.
Which we get reimbursed from the county for.
Now, I met with Agnes Safuri, and she explained to me that during the luncheon programs, she has paid out of pocket a couple $100 so far this year. She tries to put on, like once a month, once a week, every once in a while, connect with a holiday where they're going to have Rosebud Day at the senior luncheon up at the nutrition center. And she'll buy some dollar store trinkets and have a grab bag, stuff like that. And she's paid for this out of her pocket to this point in time. So she asked if there could be a little bit of money put into their budget for this. I suggested that I thought we could. I'm suggesting $600. And also, along with that same $600, she also sends out invitations. And again, this is not for every luncheon or what have you, but when she has something she considers super special, she'll send out invitations. That's cost her about $50 a mailing. So I put $150 in for postage.
So,
What's your thoughts on this?
well, under miscellaneous, on the sheet, you talked about 600, but on the requested budget, it says 1315. So I'm just wondering what that number is. Under programs for seniors, miscellaneous.
Okay, I got
services.
you.
Should that say 600?
What are we using as 715 for?
Because that,
Miscellaneous services.
Let me pull out the original you gave me.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
not sure I have it
on
on
the
there.
assumptions, it just says 600.
Right, I'm
Okay.
looking at the detail sheet, it says 715, and then it says luncheon program, 600 for a total of 1315.
Yeah, the 715, under miscellaneous.
Well, the only thing that I can see that makes any sort of sense is that, I mean, under 2015, there was spent almost 715.
Yeah, that was apparently the figure that was
Yeah, that-
budgeted
that- I
I
last
think the
year.
715 is a typo, that's what I think.
I think, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be just 600.
Was there money in there last year for miscellaneous services?
No.
It was the year before we had, and none was spent,
Okay.
1840, and none of it
You know what it
spent.
was? I'm thinking back now. 2 years ago, we broke out something separately from the other expenses line to miscellaneous line
Mhm.
for this.
We tried to give them extra money for their buses. That's what it was.
I think it was for the senior center. But we split
We
that
took
one
some
line
money
into two
from the bus
pieces.
line and put it in a
Put
separate line.
it into that for the senior
Right,
center.
that's right.
And
You're
I think
right.
last year, we put it back up into one line.
All right, so that 715 should be a zero.
Yes.
Well, it should be 600.
Should be 600.
Miscellaneous services should
Yeah.
read 600.
So it should be a total of 600 on the bottom line. Okay. Good catch, Adrian, good catch.
Regard to the 150 postage, I feel like we consolidated that line into all, it's just going to be confusing for you where it came from, and shouldn't it just be pushed up into miscellaneous as well? It's like a donation to a group to handle their postage. It's not,
With their, it depends on how they're mailing it. If they bring it here to be posted, then June can put them in put a code in the postage meter, and it gets charged to them, and I just get a report every month on exactly what their postage is. If they mail it themselves and ask for reimbursement,
I can tell her to do that. I'm sure she'd be happy, just as
Yeah, it
happy
would
to do
probably
that.
be much more trackable if it came through here.
Yeah,
mhm.
okay. All right, beautification. You just got from Doris Lynn tonight on what she thinks she needs for beautification.
Wait, can we back up for 1 second?
Sure.
Under miscellaneous, are we adding the 150 for postage in there, or are we adding it somewhere else?
It's on the next
There's a
page, under
separate line
postage. There's
for
a line.
Okay.
Separate line on the next page.
Okay, I see it, okay.
Beautification, I just put what we've had in the past, which amounts to $500 for the garden club. It's another $500 miscellaneous and $2,000 Vision. That's much less than what Vision wants, but again, we can,
I don't think I got a copy of the request.
I just got it tonight, so
I didn't see it in my record.
I see that you get one. So I think we'll probably, unless anybody has a different idea, we'll wait until the end of our budget session to see what we can put forward to them. I'd like to put more money in there.
I think, Ted, I'm not sure what your dialogue with Doris was, but when I talked with her, she was looking for some capital funds, and to my point earlier,
Right.
if we can leverage parkland funds, or you've been outstanding in getting, grants for Brooks Park, if we can,
I won't take the credit for that. Jane Ward can take all the
okay.
credit for that.
Oh, all right, so maybe talk to Jane
And Kelly.
about with
And
help.
She just looked at me. And Kelly.
Well, I think that's, that would go a long way with Vision to help in there.
Okay, Kelly, where are we going from here?
Communication, that's yours as well, huh?
Pass this over to Bill, and Bill pass that to Kelly.
Thank you.
Did I miss communication? Or isn't it in my packet? Is that a separate thing?
In your packet, yep, it's a separate one.
What are we doing next?
Communications.
Which, same, well, no.
Oh, that's under public safety then, right? Public
No.
safety, yeah, communications, public safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down here, you mean where it says?
Yeah.
Does everyone have it?
Yeah, yep.
I think
What's the $3,000 for equipment?
that's in case we need something on the towers.
Okay. Because we didn't budget
It's-
anything for it last year.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Why is
Yep.
adopted budget
Adopted
2016
$217,300.
0?
2017 is.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
3,000.
looking at 20, okay, so we budgeted 3, okay, got it. And we have not spent any of it.
No, and that's strictly for the towers, and I have no idea what we might need if something goes wrong up there, but I think that's I think we had 5,000, and so I dropped it down to 3. I also dropped down contracted services to 20,000 from 22,000 because of what we've spent so far this year. And that's it. That's the whole budget.
Why didn't we budget anything in 2016? Did I
For what?
complain, did I complain about it? I'm just wondering, in 2016, there was nothing budgeted for equipment. And I'm just wondering,
Yes.
I mean, do we have a history of that line just being 0? You know, of not spending? 'Cause we didn't spend anything 2015 or 2016, we haven't spent anything yet.
I think you,
There have been repairs done to
Well,
that.
years ago, we made a
Yeah.
major investment there, so, yeah, yeah.
5
so-
years.
So we finished paying that off, there's been no, but now we're seeing some
Well, there have been some
frequency
issues
changes,
with
right, that are
that. There have been some issues with the tower, and luckily, either we've gotten the fix for free, or one of the police department was able to fix it. But sooner or later, that's not gonna be the case, and we're gonna have to pay to have it
Mm-hmm.
repaired or something.
and I think 2016 is about the time I took this over from Randy,
Exactly.
and I was a little bit worried about what was going on up there, so
I mean, I'm just looking, you know, 15,
That's good. You
16,
keep looking.
15, 16, 17, we haven't spent anything on that line.
Yeah.
So when we haven't spent anything on that line, I always wonder,
it's almost like a reserve fund. I
Right,
mean, not a
budgeting
fund, a
for it.
reserve fund, but we're holding that money in case we need it. Because I don't know where we'd take it from if we didn't have it in there.
That would probably come from a B fund contingency account if we didn't have it there and needed something. Then we have the emergency disaster planning budget that June did, which is the same as last year.
And which one now? It's hard to hear you.
The emergency planning?
Finance? Oh,
Emergency
Disaster
oh,
disaster
emergency
planning.
planning, okay.
Do we have dog control tonight?
No.
No? As usual, I lost my agenda.
what falls under other expenses for emergency disaster planning?
Having training, in-house training, outside training, printing handouts, and we have and supplies. And we have a new chair lady. For a year, we kind of floundered along, and I was the substitute chairperson. Then we didn't spend anything. But now we have a new chair lady who's, I'm sure, going to be very active. She already took part in the safety day at the farmer's market. I'm not sure if she was at National Night Out or not. I was out of town. But this gives her the opportunity to promote emergency disaster planning in the town, if you give her a little money.
Is it possible, I mean, we haven't spent any money, though, in this arena for a couple of years?
Because the first year when we had a coordinator, he spent probably a good year working with all the department heads and others to put our plan together.
Okay.
So and it was all done on his laptop, so, although we have it. So there was nothing, no training, no extra activities, no supplies, because we spent a year working on that plan. And then, as I said, last year, it was me, kind of keeping it alive, but not doing a whole lot with it. And now we have a new coordinator, who hopefully, and I'm sure she will, be much more active in the community.
It's in the A fund, and that's where we're gonna struggle this year, you think?
Yes.
I would just circle it as,
Yeah, I
to
mean,
come
this
back
is-
to, as, you know, an opportunity if,
And moving on, finally, we have the town board.
Which is not done. It's so that you
Yeah,
guys could
so we can
discuss
talk,
it together.
we can talk about it now. My suggestion is the same as within my budget. If anybody plans on going to the city, you need about $900. And if no one plans on going to the city, I still think we should put in $1,800.
I agree.
Yeah, you may have new board members that have to go to.
No, we won't.
And even
I'm
if,
just saying,
No.
you might,
Yeah.
you might.
even if we don't have new board members, it still gives two of the board members, if we rotate, it gives
Yes.
two of the board members to go and see what's available, network. So I think it's a good idea to have. it in
No,
there.
I think it's
And I
important
think
to go.
Ty went last year, right?
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go last year.
Oh, that's
I
right, you got
Oh,
sick.
that's
yeah,
right,
yeah,
something
yeah.
came up.
Yeah.
I went the year before, though, and I definitely see the value in going. Certainly, somebody should represent us there. It's a big, big event for the.
In fact, you
for the
were our
state.
delegate, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, I haven't gone in 6 years, that's why I put it in there for me. I should go, and if, you know, my business will allow me to go, which I'll talk to the boss and see see if I can.
So do you want to keep the training then at 9:20?
No, I think we're gonna go to 18.
18.
18, I'm sorry.
Salaries would be
Keep
the
everything else
same.
the same.
What else we got there?
Cell phone expense.
oh, so you took the current spend, just doubled it to get, you're a little high, right? You still, but I guess you dropped it on that basis? It's
I don't know who's, oh, last year you mean?
Looking like the actual spend for 6 months is
Just depends on who's
542.
put in receipts into what, and I didn't get a chance to check today to see who, where we're at with that, because it's,
Does that look to you like it's enough?
Which one are you talking about?
Cell phone.
Cell phone?
Because I was gonna say, between the barrier
Oh, I
and
know,
the
I
air
know.
conditioners
Yeah.
and this, and it's
oh,
hard
I'm
to hear
sorry,
what's
I'll try
going
to speak
on.
louder. So for, if it's 50, it's 60 a month, right, for cell?
50.
It's 60.
No.
No, we're
No.
getting 50. It's 50. We had taken it down to 46, and then last year we
You're
bumped it
right.
back up to 50.
You are right. 50 times 12 months is $600 each,
Per,
times
and
4
we
board
budget
members
for
is
3 people.
$2,400.
Right, but Bill
Well,
doesn't.
then you need to
usually
raise
take
it by
raise, so
600.
there's-
Correct.
We budget
Okay.
for 3 board members.
So we're gonna raise it by 600 then? Because you need 2,400 for this.
Yeah, but we know that we don't use it, right? Because Bill, you don't use it. Is that? hasn't
Today,
that
we,
been the-
today we don't use it. You don't know what's gonna happen after
Oh,
November.
right, sorry, yeah.
Kelly, you got anything else?
No?
And contractual is 0, and that is, I mean, there's, if the board wants anything, there's never any money to buy it. Well, actually, we could, I guess, get some other department to get it for us. I mean, should the board decide that they want something? Like the computer, where was that charged, Kelly, when that computer for the little desk
The
downstairs?
IT, to the
IT?
IT budget, yes.
Okay. We'll take pens
So-
and pencils out of the supervisor's.
Just so
Absolutely.
you know, let me just do your increase quickly here. So we went up by,
Oh, that's what I was thinking of, the Association of Towns. If we decide to start going to the Association of Towns meetings, that is reimbursable.
Oh, you mean the Orange County Association? Yes.
So where is that coming out of?
That should be in your. Training, so. So you need a little bit more in training then.
Yeah, as long as it's covered, I don't care, but.
So your budget increase is 8%, just so you know, the town board's budget increase is 8%.
Yeah, I don't like that, but
Town boards increase. Oh, because of the,
It's a small amount, so, you know, an increase of
yeah.
$1,400.
Right,
equals
yeah.
8%.
I feel like we need to keep it flat.
I agree.
okay, the Orange County Association of Towns and
Right.
Villages, that's, I think, $30 a meeting?
Right.
I've gone once in almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody else that's been.
Yeah,
don't go over
I've
there
been a
too.
couple of times,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is which one?
Orange County
Association.
Association of
That's to
Towns and
consider.
Villages. They meet once a month at a restaurant.
Oh,
And it's $30 a meeting. And Bill, I don't think you've gone in the past, have you?
I went 3 or 4 years ago. I think I've been twice in my 9 years, so.
30, 60. Why don't we put in $120 extra on training? Just in case there's some freaking meeting that we all want to attend. Sometimes they come up with.
So we're going to
meetings.
make the budget higher.
Yes.
On the training line, but
On the
the
training
cell
line.
phone is,
So that brings it up to 1920? It was 1,800, you said
120.
another 120?
Does everybody agree? I mean, that's in case one meeting we all want to go
oh,
to.
no. Well,
I just don't see it ever happening. I think it's, I
Or there
don't,
might be one meeting, Adrian, that you're interested in going to and give us a chance to
I just
go.
think when we look historically, it hasn't happened, so.
Okay, so my question is, if
Yes.
someone decides they want to go and we don't put it in here, is there somewhere that we could pay for it?
There's always somewhere, but I think we should have it in there.
the-
There's always somewhere. Right out of the training money that maybe nobody's going to the Association of Towns.
Fine.
the 920 that's in there is not going to cover one person besides the supervisor who has his own 920 to go to the
Yeah,
meeting.
that'll cover one person.
So we're going to send like 3 people this year
No,
instead?
Association of Towns is approximately $900.
Okay.
That's
So
the
that's
one in the
1,800.
city.
Right.
Several days.
That's if a board member goes in addition to the supervisor.
Yeah.
So I'm advocating that if the supervisor goes, then no board member goes. We just send one representative to that.
But if we have if there ends up being 2 brand-new board members and they have to go to the training in Albany, they would need money to cover that.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay, sorry I asked the question.
That's what we're doing. We're asking questions and trying to get the best budget we can put together. Even though Kelly keeps telling us the percentages.
You're up to 8.5.
We all okay?
Well, it's,
Motion to adjourn.
says,
All right, just so, I'm sure Kelly's taking notes, but so
I am.
am I. We, under the legislative, cell phone is going up and training is going up.
Correct.
Okay.
still think we could get the training done at the current budget, even if both of us don't make it past November. They could, the supervisor could forego going this year and send the 2 new board members to the training. If,
I have no problem with that.
I mean, we're essentially budgeted for 2 people, just the way we are, to go to the meeting. Just have to figure out where the $30 will come from, and I think you can figure that out and keep this thing flat.
Well, actually, I mean, if we want to get down to, it, we can just do a little minor resolution saying that if anybody wants to go to the Association of Towns, Orange County, has to pay for it themselves.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
$30.
So the one,
It's well worth it, you get a nice dinner. There's no-
the Orange County one is $30
It's
cost.
$30, yeah.
Yeah, and you're getting a meal, you know, it's, like you said, it's a pretty decent meal.
Like this month's meeting is at the River Grill. It's a nice meal for $30, because I'm getting around.
Okay.
Let's
So
not
I'm
pass
gonna,
that
I'm
resolution
gonna
till
go this
after.
month, I'm gonna pay for my own.
You gonna do what?
I'm gonna go this month, and I'm gonna pay for my own.
Oh, okay.
That should help the budget.
All right, so we,
Thank you.
Oh, actually, you could probably, we're still in
But
this
we've
current
got,
budget.
yeah, we've got the
You're
money for
safe.
it. Yeah, you're safe for this year.
Until December, you're safe.
We've got the money for it right now.
so without even a motion, so we're gonna accept that if anybody wants to go to these Orange County meetings, they're gonna pay for themselves. Is that all right?
For what?
For this year or
But not
next
for
year?
this year. There's
For
money
next
for
year,
it this
for
year.
next year.
So think about it
Do a-
next year.
Maybe you should do something, so it's in the.
Do what?
Maybe you should do a motion. I
All
don't
right.
know.
I need a motion to,
And what are we making, what
Yeah,
are we making a motion for?
I need a motion to have the board, the supervisor and board members attending an Orange County,
Association of Towns.
Orange County Towns and Villages meeting pay for it themselves.
Beginning January 1st?
Beginning January 1st, yeah. Is that all right? I need a second then.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Four ayes and one.
I didn't vote.
And do we have anything else? Kelly?
I
have a
did not
question.
vote.
So we're flat.
Where are we?
I think we're
Okay, so
we're
I'm
as
taking out
written
the
here, or are we,
The 120 comes out?
oh,
for
you
the
you
Orange-
bumped the cell phone up from the 1258,
Right.
correct?
And we're going to bring the training back down?
To 920?
So now you just have an increase of
Yep.
600.
Where'd the
So
600
we're gonna
come
have
from?
two,
The cell phone. Cell phone went up from 18 to 2,400,
Okay.
based on 4 board members.
so we're gonna have money for two people to go to the city, including myself.
Correct. Well,
Or two council people, or whatever it is.
right.
You'll have to
One-
make
one
it-
in
you have
this
to make a
budget.
transfer out of yours
Right.
if it's a
It'll
two
include a
council.
budget transfer.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
So now this budget is up 600.
Anybody have anything else? And there's one more thing that's gotta be done. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No carried.